Have you ever felt it? That strange pull. When she suddenly reappears in your life, like when she randomly views your story, likes that old post, or casually texts, "Hey, how've you been?" You probably thought, she's just being polite, maybe she's bored. But here's the truth. That wasn't random. In fact, it's rooted in something deeply psychological, something she probably doesn't even fully understand herself. It's like when your heart races the moment you hear her name again. Was that just in your head? Or was it real? Let's reveal what's really pulling her back toward you. If this has ever happened to you, drop a in the comments. And stick around. The last reason will change how you see yourself forever. RTS with something as small as a song. She's driving late at night, headlights slicing through the darkness, and that one song comes on. The same one that played when you both sat together, talking about life, about dreams, about nothing and everything all at once. And suddenly, there you are, again. In her head, in her chest, in her pulse. She probably won't tell herself it means anything. She dismiss it as a random thought. She think, why am I thinking about him again? A quick laugh under her breath. A shake of her head. She'd brush it off, scroll past, switch the song. But what she doesn't realize is that she's not in control of this moment. It's not her conscious mind bringing you back. It's the echo. The emotional echo is powerful because it's sneaky. It bypasses her walls. It sneaks in through familiar feelings, nostalgia, comfort, even longing. It isn't about who you are right now. It's about who she was with you. The version of herself that felt seen, heard, wanted, or maybe even challenged. That's why. It feels so random to her. That's why she keeps coming back. And here's the part that most men never realize. But you will. You don't need to chase her to trigger this. You don't need to text her, post for her, or even acknowledge her. The echo doesn't need your permission to spread. It already lives inside her. So the next time she randomly pops up liking an old post, replying to a story, or sending that casual, "Hey, been a while," remember this. Don't respond right away. Let the echo keep ringing. Let her sit in it for a while longer. Because sometimes, silence isn't about ignoring her. It's about letting her realize she was never really done with you in the first place. There's something almost unbearable about unfinished stories. And whether she realizes it or not, you are one of hers. She doesn't think about it that way, of course. She tells herself she's moved on. That what happened between you. Both was just another passing chapter, another name in the long list of guys she's known. But then there are nights. Quiet ones. Nights where her phone is in her hand, and the world outside feels still and distant. And before she knows it, she's doing it again. Scrolling back through old messages. Reading the words you exchanged. The jokes, the flirtations, the subtle tension that always lingered between the lines. It's not that she misses you, she tells herself. She's just curious. Right? But here's the truth. This isn't just curiosity. This is a phenomenon deeply rooted in human psychology. It's called the need for narrative closure. And it's a need far more powerful than most people realize. You see, women just like men crave resolution. We all do. Our brains are wired for it. Loose ends create discomfort. Unanswered questions gnaw at us in the background. And the more dignified, calm, and mysterious you are in your exit, the stronger that discomfort grows. If you didn't beg, if you didn't chase, if you didn't try to force a happy ending, you left the door cracked. Open in her mind, she keeps replaying it, trying to make sense of it. Why didn't he fight harder? Why did he just walk away? She may not say these words aloud. She might not even admit them to herself. But deep down, that tiny, unresolved thread keeps pulling at her. And every time she stumbles upon your memory, it tugs a little harder. Here's the irony. The more she tries to solve the riddle of you, The more she feeds the obsession dot, it's like she's picking at a scab, hoping to heal it, but only making it bleed again. And here's where most men go wrong. They try to tie up the story themselves. They send a long text. They plead for closure. They explain their feelings in paragraphs. But you won't do that dot because now you understand. The most powerful thing you can do is let the story stay unfinished. Leave that question hanging in her mind. Let her wrestle with it over and over dot. And remember, next time you find yourself tempted to explain, to clarify, to chase, stop dot, smile to yourself. You already planted the seed. She'll be the one who comes back to water it. Rejection. Most men fear it. They run from it, obsess over it, let it define their worth. But what if I told you rejection isn't the end? Sometimes it's just the beginning of something far more powerful. Picture this. She's sitting there, phone in hand, perfectly curated photo ready to post. The lighting is flawless. Her hair, her smile, her angles, all dialed in. She's done this 100 times before. And usually, she knows exactly what comes next. The flood of notifications. The DMs, the comments, the likes. It's predictable. It's easy. But this time, she posts. And you? Nothing. No reaction. No like. No message. Silence. At first, she brushes it off. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you're just busy. She won't admit it bothers her, but there's a tiny, sharp edge of annoyance cutting through her thoughts. Why isn't he reacting? Days pass. More posts go up. More subtle traps laid out. But you keep doing the unthinkable. You keep ignoring her. And that's when it happens. Curiosity begins to creep in. Her mind starts to spin in circles, looking for answers. Why isn't he watching my stories? Why hasn't he reached out? Did he meet someone else? Is he over me? The more she thinks about it, the more it consumes her. And here's the fascinating part. It's not because she wants you back, necessarily. It's because you've created what psychologists call a validation vacuum. She was used to your attention, used to that steady drip of reassurance. And now that it's gone, her ego is starving. At first, it feels like confusion. Then frustration. Then obsession. She starts checking to see if you're online, watching to see if you've moved on, looking for signs that you still care. And every moment you remain distant, the vacuum grows stronger. This is where most men fold. They feel the pull to fix it, to reach out, to explain. But you're not most men. You understand now that desire isn't always about affection. Sometimes it's about absence. The less available you are, the more valuable your attention becomes. It's not about playing games. It's about protecting your energy, your focus, your dignity. And believe me, she notices. Suddenly, she's the one lurking on your profile. She's the one sending the accidental text. She's the one wondering, why doesn't he care anymore? That's the magic of the validation vacuum. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. The next time she tries to bait your attention, whether it's a thirst trap, a random message, or a subtle flex, remember this. You don't need to flinch. You don't need to react, because while she's trying to pull you back in, you're already free. And the moment she feels that freedom, she starts chasing it. There's a strange moment that happens. And it happens quietly. She's scrolling through her feed, not looking for anything in particular. She's half distracted, sipping her coffee, probably thinking about work or her weekend plans. And then she stumbles across something she didn't expect. It's you, laughing in a photo surrounded by people she doesn't recognize. Maybe you're at a rooftop bar. Maybe it's a group shot after a gym session. Or maybe you're somewhere that simply radiates energy, new friends, new places, new confidence. And for just a second, she stops breathing. It's subtle, barely noticeable even to her, but her eyes linger. She tells herself it's nothing, just curiosity. She's just checking in. But deep down, something primal has been triggered. It's called subconscious status signaling. C. Attraction isn't just about looks or charm. It runs deeper into the instinctive part of the brain that's constantly scanning for safety, value, and social proof. When a woman sees a man thriving socially, her brain doesn't register it as, oh, he's popular. It processes it as, he's desirable to others, he's growing, he's winning, and the best part? You don't even need to flaunt it. It's the subtle shifts that hit the hardest. She notices you dress differently now. You stand taller. Your energy feels lighter, more magnetic. You're not trying to impress anyone. And that's what makes it work. In her mind, the thoughts start creeping in. Wait, when did he start looking like that? Who are those people he's with? Why does he seem so different? And suddenly, you're not just the guy from her past. You're the man she no longer recognizes. And that's terrifyingly attractive. Here's the emotional contrast she won't admit. She once thought she had you figured out. She put you in a box, labeled you, and filed you away. But now you've outgrown that box. And she can't stop watching. Most men never understand this. They chase status in obvious ways, flashing money, bragging online, trying to prove their worth. But you're smarter than that. You understand that true status is quiet. It's in the way you walk into a room without needing anyone's approval. It's in the way you build your life, slowly but surely, with or without her watching. And trust me, she's watching. Here's your move. Keep investing in yourself, in your passions, in your circle of people who elevate you, because every step you take upward, she feels it. She senses it, even if she can't explain why, and before she knows it, that innocent check-in has turned into something else entirely. Now, she's the one wondering how to get back into your story. It always creeps in at the most unexpected moments. She's at a party. Loud music pulses through the room. Strangers everywhere. New faces. New conversations. Laughter that feels just a little too forced. Drinks poured a little too fast. She's smiling, nodding along, pretending to enjoy herself. But inside, there's a quiet hum of discomfort. She feels out of place. Like something isn't clicking. And then it happens. Someone, somewhere in the room, says your name. Maybe it's a mutual friend telling a story. Maybe it's someone casually mentioning what you've been up to lately. And suddenly, the entire party fades into the background. Her heart tightens. Not in pain, but in recognition. In the middle of a crowd of strangers. She feels the pull of something familiar. This is the hidden force most men never realize they possess. It's called familiarity bias, the psychological tendency to gravitate toward what feels known, safe, and comforting. And when you've shared emotional intimacy with her, even if it was brief, you've already planted that familiarity. She doesn't think about it in logical terms. She won't say, I feel safe with him. It happens deeper in her body, her nervous system, her subconscious. You're the steady signal in her chaotic world. She doesn't miss you, necessarily. She misses how her body feels when she thinks of you. Calm, grounded, known. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The more unpredictable her current life feels, the more she craves that familiarity. It's why you suddenly cross her mind when she's stressed. It's why she randomly scrolls through your old pictures after a bad day. It's why hearing your name feels like a breath of fresh air. Even if she pretends otherwise, her inner monologue kicks in. Why does everything feel so overwhelming, except when I think of him? It's not because you're perfect. It's because you represent emotional home. And here's your quiet advantage. When you do reconnect, whether by accident or intention, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to perform, impress, or overthink. All you need to do is be steady, calm, grounded, present. Let her feel that safe place again. Because in a world full of noise, you're the rare silence she secretly craves. And the more unpredictable her world becomes, the more magnetic that familiarity will feel. It's almost unfair how it works. The very moment you stop caring, something shifts. Not in her, not in your messages, not in the situation itself. It shifts in you. And here's the craziest part. She feels it, even before you realize it's happening. Picture this. You're out with friends. Real laughter this time. The kind, Dad, makes your face hurt. The kind that leaves your chest feeling light. You're not faking it. You're not posting for anyone to see. You're fully present, fully alive, completely detached from anything that used to weigh you down. And somewhere, in some quiet corner of her night, she feels it. She might not know exactly what changed, but the emotional thread between you, it suddenly feels looser, slippery, like she can't quite grab hold of it anymore. She opens her phone, half expecting to see a message from you. Nothing. She checks your story, just to feel that tiny connection. Still nothing. Now her heart starts to race, not from excitement, but from something she hasn't felt around you before. Fear. The fear of losing her grip on you. See, women are masters of emotional sensitivity. They can feel energetic shifts faster than they can explain them. And when you finally, truly let go, when you stop obsessing, stop analyzing, stop waiting for her to come back, your energy changes. You're no longer seeking, you're radiating. And that's what draws her back. She expected you to stay the same, to keep orbiting around her, to remain frozen in that version of you that wanted her so badly. But now you're laughing in rooms she's never entered. You're sharing moments she wasn't invited to. You're building a life that doesn't need her to be complete. And the realization hits her like a wave. You're slipping through her fingers. Her inner monologue spirals. Why does it feel like he's gone? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? Did he really move on without me? This is the magnetic energy shift most men never experience. Because most men never truly let go. They fake it. They post fake glow-ups. They pretend to be happy. They force themselves to look indifferent. But she can smell the difference between pretending and presence. And here's the brutal truth. The moment you stop chasing is the moment she starts. Because now, it's not about her trying to win you back. It's about her trying to reclaim the version of herself that felt powerful when she knew she had you. But here's the part that makes all the difference. You're not chasing anymore. You're not playing anymore. You're not even thinking about her anymore. Because now, you're living for yourself. And whether she comes back or not, it doesn't matter. You've already won. Here's your final move in this chapter. Focus every ounce of your energy on your purpose, your growth, your joy. When you stop chasing external validation, the world starts chasing you. And she won't just feel it, she'll crave it. This is where everything changes. Because once you've felt that shift, once you've experienced what it's like to stop chasing, to stop needing, to stop waiting, there's no going back. You've tasted a different kind of freedom. And now, it's about keeping it. Picture this. You're standing in front of the mirror. No phone in sight. No notifications waiting. No mental checklist of who's watching, who's liking, who's thinking about you. It's just you, your reflection. And for the first time in a long time, you don't feel that hunger. You don't feel that itch to prove yourself, to get her back, to win some invisible game. Instead, there's something quieter inside. You, steady, calm, unshakable. You've become the man who no longer needs validation to feel worthy. And here's the secret nobody tells you. At this level, women feel it the second they meet you. They sense the difference in your presence. You're not tense. You're not fidgeting. You're not fishing for approval. You're simply there, fully rooted in yourself. And that's rare. That's magnetic. It's not about playing hard to get. It's not about manipulation or pretending you don't care, Dot. It's about becoming the kind of man who genuinely doesn't need anything from anyone. And here's what makes it even more powerful. When she comes back, and yes, she often does, you'll notice something strange. You're not as interested anymore. Not because you're bitter, not because you're angry, but because now you're selective. You've realized something most men never do. Women aren't goals, they're options. And you're the prize. You're the man who's built his world so full, so rich, so alive, that anyone who enters it has to earn their place. And the best part? It's not just about her anymore. This shift spills into everything. Your friendships, your career, your health, your peace. You've stopped outsourcing your happiness to other people's reactions, and now? Now you choose who gets access to you. Here's the final action step, and it's simple, but life-changing. Make this your daily check-in. Am I chasing validation today? Or am I walking my own path? If you catch yourself slipping back into old patterns, scrolling, lurking, overthinking-pause, breathe, and redirect that energy back into your mission, because you've already seen what happens when you stay rooted in yourself. The world rearranges itself to chase you. And women? They're just the beginning. Let's keep it simple, because sometimes all you need is a quick reminder of what you already know. Here's your cheat code, the 7 hidden forces that make her feel drawn back to you. Again and again. The next time you find yourself wondering, why is she suddenly back? Remember this. First, it's the emotional echo. Her brain replays those old feelings on repeat. It's not random. It's chemistry. Then comes the unfinished story hook. She can't resist trying to solve the mystery you left behind. And trust me, she will keep coming back for answers. Third, the validation vacuum. You stopped giving her attention. Now, her ego is starving, and every second you stay silent, she craves you more. Fourth, subconscious status signals. She sees your quiet rise, your confidence, your circle, you glow. And suddenly, you're not the same man she thought she knew. Fifth, the familiarity bias trap. In a world full of strangers, you feel like home. She doesn't miss you. She misses the feeling you bring. Sixth, the magnetic energy shift. You stopped chasing. You started radiating. Now, she's the one chasing you, and she doesn't even understand why. And finally, control forever. You're no longer chasing anyone. You've become the man who walks his own path. And now, women don't just notice you. They respect you. They admire you. And most importantly, they can't forget you. So, whenever you start doubting yourself, come back to this. Replay this video. Relearn this truth. Because the second you remember your power, everything else falls into place.